What's the average time? What's a good average time for a video?
That's a very good question. Anyone from 30 to 60 seconds. The sweet spot is 45 to 60 seconds is, ideal for a video. Anything longer, a lot of people don't watch. If I were to tell you what is the most important section of the video, who here would guess what part is it?
Beginning.
Exactly. The beginning, the hook, the first 3 seconds. So that's where you really want to really focus on your video. So it can be,
Because that,
yeah,
oh, sorry about that. That was my next question was beginning, middle, or end.
I definitely the very beginning is the most important thing, just because not everyone's going to watch, 100% of the video. Not everyone's going to watch 50% of the video. I mean, all of us here scroll on social media. We're scrolling pretty fast, you know? So it's like we usually stop that scroll whenever we see something that like caught our attention. So that first 3 second video, that first 3 seconds is the most important part of the video. And that's why for me, that's where you call your ideal audience, meaning, hey, San Diego dog owners, that's what we call like a call out. Since, most of us here are running, local ads, it's very, very important to call out your area, San Diego or surrounding area, San Diego County, Miami, dog owners, and talk to and call out who you want to talk to. So for example, your services is getting, for example, dogs trained, groomed, walked, whatever it is, right? But we're essentially looking for dog owners. So that is what you're supposed to be, calling out in the very first 3 seconds of the video. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, follow up on that. What is like a good hook? I mean, how, how's the present? How do you? What's the presentation like? I mean, do you just sit back and say, "Hey guys from Northern Ohio, listen to me," you
Yeah.
know, or jump on and go, you know, fuck you people in Michigan, Ohio people, listen to me. I mean,
Yeah, I would say, and I've tested this out like a bunch of times, and even before I had a canine, like I would do this on my ads, but having a dog on your ad does help out a lot, you know, um, and uh, and that's why
well,
for
I go
me.
nowhere without mine.
Yeah, it's like that's why, for if you've seen my ads, a lot of them is just, I start with my dog store in the very beginning. Before I even start talking, I'm like, I point out my dog, and that's just because dogs naturally gets people to stop scrolling. People are not gonna know it's an ad. I'm a fan of ads looking organic and not looking like an ad, if that makes sense. Um, and that's why I still use whenever it comes to like the text overlay, I don't use anything fancy. I use what Instagram has. And the reason why is because that is when people are doing those, text on the videos, that is what people, they use, Instagram. They don't use CapCut. They don't use, Adobe Pro or any of these Photoshops, or video editing software. They use Instagram. So I like to keep it organic as possible. So I would definitely use, a dog call your ideal audience. Like, you know, um, I like to add comedy. Like one of my best performing ads right now was, I always start with my ads. Hey, do you see this dog right here? He'll teach you how to get leads, right? Um, and then for your dog training business, for example. And then, one of the retargeting ads that I did is I started like that, but it was when I was in Japan. There was a field full of like, I believe it was like deers that like they bow down to you for any time, like, for them to give you a cookie. And I started my video, hey, do you see this dog right here? And I'm like, oh snap, this isn't a dog, this is a deer. And I just kind of like run the transition to like my actual video. But that's something that, gets people's attention, and that's like the hook of it, and that's has been one of my best performing ads right now. But definitely
But
call out your audience for sure.
now, like if your dog can perform, does that help? I'll give you an example of like what I'm talking about. Okay, I had my dogs out with me the other day. We were in a shopping center. Shopping center had those trash cans, you know, the off the air trash cans. They're in those metal frame things, and they're about 4 feet up off the ground. I had
Okay.
my big king shepherd jump up and sit down on one of those using nothing but the edge. There was no lid on the trash can. He's just sitting down up there balanced. And every person that was in that parking lot, I had people taking pictures. I had people coming up and going, man, is that dog actually doing that? He's this big 130-pound German shepherd sitting up there. Do things like that come across good, or do they come across like you're bragging or conceited?
Not at all. It does not. It that right there, like if I were you, I would have taken my phone, I would have put it like I would have done like a selfie video and like you see all of these people right here surrounding this dog, my dog, that which I train him to do, and that's where I kind of transition. But stuff like that is 100% like will get people's attention. Um, and I don't believe that it will make you seem like you're bragging or anything like that. You're just showcasing your skills. This is the product of your services kind of thing. So I would definitely get into like the mindset of any little opportunity that you may think that could possibly do good on ads, like I would do it 100%, just because you don't know what's gonna hit until it really does hit. So that's why, for example, when I went to Japan, I was like, there's a lot of, what is it called? Like opportunities where I had to make some videos where a lot of people, here in the States, we couldn't really make because we don't have that, like we don't have that. So it's like I took the chance and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, how do I make this into like an ad? So, Tim, yeah, definitely 100%. Like anytime you're in that situation, even if it's just like a 30-second video or anything like that, just your hook, which is already your hook, who you are and what you do and what you offer. And then like, for example, the call to action, which is the call to action is I would say, mm, if I were to rate them, it'll be like one hook, three second is call to action, and the middle is like the story or like the body of the video.
Okay.
But directing people on what to do after they've watched most of the video is very important. So either that being, hey, click the link below, get access to my mini course, get access to my program, hey, get access, get a free, evaluation, free transformation session, whatever verbiage you're using, you just want to make sure that everything is kind of consistent. That way it's not confusing on the other person's side.
Full beans.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, man, of course. Yeah, man. You got to go back to the mall and recreate that, man, and make a video.